Hey travelers, today we are talking about the Hyatt Ziva Zilara Cap Cana and whether or not you should upgrade to a club room. So each resort is a little bit different, and today we are talking strictly about Cap Cana. I will do other videos about the other properties because some of them it's totally worth it to upgrade to club, and others, in my opinion, maybe not. So with respect to Cap Cana, I am going to say that this is relative to when the hotel is operating under normal circumstances. So if you're planning on traveling later this year or in 2021, when hopefully things are at least somewhat back to normal, this is relevant for you. When you're talking about room locations, it does make a difference for that. So the resort is a big W, and the club rooms are on the outside edge of the resort. The middle section is just the regular rooms. The club rooms are not necessarily closer to the ocean, but it's just a different view. So on the Ziva side, which would be on the left facing the ocean, you are going to get sun pretty much all day as the sun goes across. On the Zilara side, you are on the right-hand side facing the ocean, and you will see the sunrise in the morning, usually a pretty straight-on view, which is great. It's worth noting that the oceanfront swim-up rooms and the oceanfront rooms in general are not necessarily club. You can always request club level service when you get to the resort or ahead of time, depending on how you've booked your room. And the rate will depend on the occupancy levels and what the current rates are and stuff like that. But just because you've booked an oceanfront swim out, which is going to be right at the front of the beach with spectacular views, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get club access. So obviously if you book into club, you're going to have a separate check-in area. So you're going to go to the club lounge. Obviously they're going to offer you a drink or a cocktail, and I really enjoyed going to the lounge. It was a little bit quieter. There was less of a lineup at the bar, and they do have a little bit more premium level drinks, which isn't a big deal for me because my go-to in the evening is generally white wine. But during the day, they did have a better selection of cans of beer in the club lounge than what you would get necessarily at the other regular bars. So, that was kind of nice. Also, it was, like I said, a little bit quieter, and they have a little snack area, and it was just always fun to pop in and see what little gourmet bites they might have. Because it is so hot, it is sometimes challenging to work up an appetite, which is tough because the food there is so good. But sometimes when you're just feeling a bit peckish and you don't want a full sit-down meal, it was great to go into the lounge and just grab a little bite of this and a bit of cheese and crackers and just some little delightful bites. Now, if you're staying on the Zilara side, you have access to both sides of the resort. Whereas if you're on the Ziva side, you have access to the full complement of the Ziva side of the resort. But as an adult, 18 years or older, you can also go onto the Zilara side. So either side you are on, if you are in a club room, or have club access and you're an adult 18 years or older, you can go to either club lounge because there's one on each side. And they're both fairly similar. The one on the Zilara side is slightly bigger. But both have the same things. They've got the upgraded drinks and they've got the little snack bar. You also have access to 2 additional pools, and I say that being an adult because one is on the Ziva side and the other is on the Zilara side. They both have lots of cabanas along the pool. Those are not included. Those are all at an extra cost, but insider tip, if you're planning on getting one for 2 or 3 days in a row or over the course of the week that you're there, ask if there's any rates differential if you're booking for multiple days, because sometimes you might get a little bit of a deal doing that. Now, along that pool, there's also a swim-up bar, and again, these bars have the premium liquor and beers and stuff like that. They also have 2 extra restaurants that are available for club guests, and those are located at the front of the resort. So they're beachfront locations, spectacular views. Now these restaurants are open for everybody. Adults again only on the Zilara side, but for everybody on the Ziva side. And during the day for breakfast and lunch, they offer a la carte service. So on the Zilara side, the restaurant is called Shutters. It's a Peruvian themed restaurant, and they actually have some really good food. I've only had Peruvian food a few times, but I love the little corn nuts. I forget what they're called, but they have those, and sashimi is like spot on, and their avocado toast with poached egg on top is really yummy as well. On the Ziva side, the family side, it's Chinola, and they're predominantly a healthy restaurant. So this is really unusual. I don't think out of all the 350 resorts that I've been to in Mexico and the Caribbean, I don't think I've ever come across one that has a keto diet on the menu. So there's keto-friendly, gluten-free, low calorie, low sodium, like they've got everything. So there's really something for everyone. And because the gym is so amazing here, I mean, I think it's the biggest gym in all of the Caribbean and Mexico combined. It is massive, and they've got trainers in there and everything. So you could almost treat this like a healthy retreat. But the drinks are quite yummy, so maybe not. And then, like I say, in the evenings, these restaurants open up to all of the guests, so everybody can have a chance to experience this. Now, as a guest having club service, you also get access to a Butler Concierge, and a lot of people say, well, what do you use the butler for? And it can be simple things like arranging tours, if you want to go to the Blue Mall. The Blue Mall, but there's a great grocery store next door which sells alcohol, and if you want some delicious Dominican rum to take back home with you, you will not find it cheaper anywhere else. And it's about a quarter of the price that they sell it at the airport. So another insider tip for you on that. Now, you could also ask your butler to do some additional things, like if you needed to make a reservation at the spa, they can hook that up for you. You can get a bottle of booze to your room. That's another insider tip that is not widely known, and it's not advertised anywhere, but certainly we were offered that both times that we were there. And another thing that one of the previous guests had mentioned is that they got a SIM card, a local SIM card. So instead of paying your local internet rates, for us here in Canada, we have a lot of Roam As You Go plans, but they're still like $12 or $13 a day. It means you can use your phone like you're at home, which is great, but if you're there for a week or 10 days or 2 weeks, then it really adds up. Whereas you can get a SIM card, a local SIM card, which has I think some of the plans actually have unlimited data, or at least a massive amount of data. It's high speed, higher speed certainly than what you'll get on your own, because you're on that better network. And I think the SIM cards cost like $8. So definitely something to consider. And if you're going to use your butler for stuff like that, especially where they're doing stuff on their off time, always remember to be generous and tip. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, there is, of course, the Starbucks style coffee shop in the main lobby, and there's one on each side. But if you're offered an excursion, at say 8 or 9 in the morning, there's going to be quite a few people that are looking for coffee at that point in time. Now, you can go down to the buffet and also get coffee, but if you want to get an espresso or even just a regular drip coffee, but you want to get it quickly, if you have lounge access, again, another insider tip, that there's usually no line up for coffee because most people aren't thinking about drinking at that time in the morning. Well, some people are. I mean, hey, mimosa is never a bad thing on vacation. And you can get your coffee from the club lounge, and usually like immediate service. And if you want it to be a little special coffee, you can add a little something to that as well. So club access, like I say, if you book it ahead of time, you'll know exactly what the price is, or you can book a regular room and take your chances on getting club access once you get there. The difference is you can see for yourself the different pools, the other restaurants, what the club lounge looks like, and decide if that's something that you want to upgrade to or not. But it's a personal choice. Personally, I like the extra perks. That's just me. But it's not for everybody. And if you're not a drinker, if you prefer to be on the beach, if you prefer to swim in the ocean, if you prefer to, be socializing with a specific group of people, maybe club is not for you. You know, at least I tried to outline the different points so you can make the choice for yourself. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos and informational updates. Thanks everybody, and have a great day.